Okay. Yeah. So Ty, tell us about the testing and research lab that you've got there at TFS. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so we opened up the lab about 2 years ago, but it's been
Hmm.
a long-term project to get it to the state that it's at now, where I feel it's a fully operational Death Star now. We're ready to fire.
Yeah. Hmm.
We have basically three parts to the lab. So we
Hmm.
have what we call the particle lab, which is dedicated to dry materials. So we have steaming and powder coating in the particle lab. So in that portion, we have a Sarmax wire wheel two head machine for some of our wood customers to do some
Hmm.
interesting textures for wood. We have our total brush sander, which allows us to do automated sanding for cabinets, doors, face frames, typical millwork type stuff, up
Hmm.
to 2 inches wide. And we have a custom downdraft table for manual hand sanding, so we can come in with all kinds of different sanders, set up, say, a school or a class that wants to come through for training and start there. We also have an Erzinger quick change
Hmm.
PVC color change booth for our powder coat side. We have
Hmm.
a 10 by 10 by 10 batch powder cure oven, and we have a small cartridge style powder booth for manual application. And
Hmm.
then we also have our total cure infrared lab oven. So we bring
Oh,
that to
okay.
shows. It's full size, but we can actually go cure liquid or powder coating parts with infrared in the lab as well. So that's
Gotcha.
kind of one side of our lab.
Hmm.
There's two classrooms connected to that, so we can actually come in and do sit down blackboard video type presentations, and then go right out into either the liquid or powder labs and do hands on. On the other side of the classrooms, we have two liquid labs. One is dedicated for horizontal finishing in liquid, and
Hmm.
that has our total flatline automation system, which is a flatline made in Italy with a material handling system that will allow one operator to use the machine. It basically will automatically spray the parts and rack them without any extra humans to move parts
Right.
around. We won the IWF award for that in
Hmm.
2024.
Oh.
Best piece of equipment over 100,000, which is the top award at the show.
Mm.
Got a sign above it with all that. We have a lineal spray machine in the horizontal lab, and we also have our flood coat machine from Sarmax, which is a flood and brush machine for mainly exterior stain market. Does a really good job there.
Mm.
Then when we go to the next lab over, that's our vertical lab. So that
Mm.
has a big 16-foot wide open face booth. Eventually there'll be an overhead conveyor. We have an ePistolio robot in that
Mm.
with a carousel that moves around the base of the robot. So we basically have three arms that come out and rotate the part in front. It's an operator repeat type robot. So you basically go in the first time, you put it in teach mode, you do the painting motion yourself. It's recording all of your movements and triggering and rotations. You save it as a recipe, and then you can repeat and play that back. And you can even increase the playback speed so it will spray faster than, say, you or I
Ah.
did in the training mode.
Hmm.
Yeah, basically, if you can run an iPhone, you can run that robot. So it's a really cool tool to have in the
Right.
lab.
Hmm.
Uh, we have another couple of lineal spray machines in that side, and then we have a Binks BGK um, chain on edge line.
Oh,
We
okay.
can run the conveyor at any speed to simulate, whatever we might in a lab environment.
Hmm.
Spray liquid or powder in that spray booth, and then it has a small flash off section, and then it goes into an infrared tunnel, so we can cure liquid or powder, even up to like 500-600 degrees in that. So
Hmm.
yeah, we've got
Wow.
a lot
That's
a
a
lot of
lot of.
stuff in the liquid lab. We
Yeah, I
have
was going to
another
say.
Yeah, we have another
Well,
room, the armory, that has over 85 different manual and automatic spray guns, and they're all for use. So
wow.
somebody
Okay. Wow.
come in, find out in a shootout, like, hey, is Sada better than Iwata? Do I like Binks more than what? You can
Right.
throw material and come spray.
Right. Right. Now, let me just make sure. So, where you have this lab located? Is it up in? up
It's in Vancouver,
in
Washington, which is
Vancouver?
just
Okay.
across the river from Portland, Oregon.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I guess that's the kind of big thing is what, people can try it before they purchase it, but also is it being used a lot for just training the people that are going to be using the equipment? Is that, how do you see it being used right now?
Yes, it's used for training. It's also, I think, sales validation. So, how many
Hmm.
times sales process you talking to the customer, you're showing them videos, you're going through
Right.
proposals, and what does it always come down to? Well, where can I see it? My parts are different. I want to have that
Right.
tactile touch. So we invite the customers in. They're able to have a day or two in the lab, personally using all the equipment, where they're getting training. They're able
Hmm.
to see the ease of use. Really validate any of their concerns, and in
Hmm.
turn, those sales rewarded for investing and giving our customers that ability to actually come and test everything from a manual spray gun to a robot.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, this has got to be a great marketing, a Grace for you. This could be a great marketing tool for the company. Like you said, that they could come, they could look at it, feel it, touch it, smell it, do it, everything, see exactly how. I guess nothing beats that, right? Seeing the actual product right in front of your eyes, I guess.
Right.
Yep.
Trying it out for themselves. Yeah. It's been great.
Yeah. Like I said, to envision that, how it's going to do. Can they bring some of their own parts? I know you talked about. Uh,
Most commonly, the customers will ship in their own paint and their own parts,
mm,
um, and then we run their actual production here.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. And I guess the big thing too is, when they're investing in this type of equipment and they've probably got employees that aren't used to it and or have never used something like that. It's sophistication. So like I said, you have the lab there, then you have the classroom, and that kind of, have you been
Yeah,
doing that with a lot of your customers of letting them bring people in and spending
absolutely.
time to do that?
And if they say they want to buy a large system and then they want to send customer or employees back for training, we can set up a ancillary training right here on site while they're waiting for their order to be shipped. Perhaps they can be pre-trained before it even arrives.
Before it even arrives. Wow. Yeah. So you're not testing on the production line. That's a key thing right there, right? With that.
Yeah.
How did you guys come up with this idea for, like you said about 2 years ago you opened it, but how did you come up with the idea for this?
Uh, so I was originally, a few years back, I was living in California, got
Hmm.
married, and I have a stepdaughter. We needed to move to where they lived, which was in Washington.
Hmm.
And so my shop was in California, and here I'm living in Washington. And I was like, "Honey, I need a shop." So I was kind of out of boredom a bit. Made this place and started out with a 70 by 30 bay, and now we're about 20,000 square feet. So it's
Mm,
every time some piece of equipment, I'm like, yeah, I need that. We need more space. We've been blowing out a wall and expanding over as the other tenants leaving the building. I've been taking it over.
right. Wow. Gosh.
Just
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
filling up with more and more equipment. So that's been kind of fun.
I took over the last half, and everyone was like, "That's so much space. What are you ever going to put in there?" And now it's almost full.
Wow. Yeah. I was going to say, yeah. And Grace, what's been the response from customers who know that this feature is available to them, to,
It's
again, buy it and also have training available if they needed it?
yeah, I think that it's been a really key thing for customers to come out and be able to see it for themselves. And
Hmm.
we've had quite a few customers in the last few months just come out, for a day or two, and then just kind of exploring all the equipment that we have. But it's been a very nice feature to have.
Right, right. And Ty, who's teaching the classes? Is it your technical staff that's really in there going over things with all the customers and their teams?
At this point, we also offer up the lab to coating manufacturers or coating
Hmm.
distributed people, and they can bring in their own curriculum. I really am
Oh,
trying to not run a curriculum because I want the people who are selling the coatings really to be involved here and to have a space to use jointly with us.
right, right. Yeah, I've heard that from some shop owners talking about how when they bring on, it's so hard to find staff these days, find labor to do this, and they want to invest in that staff member, right? They want to invest in that employee that they've hired and show them that they are investing in them. And I guess this would be a great way to do that. I think is to send them to your facility and let them see the equipment and to get trained on it by the people that pretty much built the equipment to begin with, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That.
I'm also looking to, I've been waiting till it was fully operational on the powder side. We now are. But I'm looking to add our facility onto like the PCI and CCAI list of educational zones. So normally those are only held at Wagner and Nordson and GEMA, and kind of rotate. I think now out west we'll be able to join that circuit hopefully, and offer an alternative location and something new and different. And it's really where people a lot of times enter the finishing market. They're interested in powder coating. They go to one of these curriculum, and that's where they enter learning about 101 powder coat or liquid coat. And I think, will be an interesting geographic location as well as physical location with all of our diversity.
Right. It definitely. And you mentioned the armory, which I think I saw a picture of that, of all the different guns, because I guess some people, it's just a feel for them, right? Sometimes, right? I mean, what's the best one for them? Yeah.
And normally, like I said, you're going to a training, it's usually at an equipment manufacturer, right?
Right.
So I can only go to SATA and I'm only going to see SATA guns, right? I can go to Graco and I'm only going to see Graco guns. When you come here, you have access to take everything side by side and go do a spray up for yourself and really be confident, like, yeah, that's the best gun for my need.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And, and like I said, not just new employee, not just new staff members, but I've often heard where, sometimes you get drift where people over the years, they kind of change things. And I guess it's good to, even seasoned veterans to come back and get a little bit of training and expertise and really have somebody else kind of work with them on their technique. Because I find that in either liquid or powder coating, it is all about the technique, right? I mean, sometimes of how they do apply it, right?
And another thing we do, we have a pretty good staff at marketing and media. So we have a full camera crew available with all the tripods and lighting. So we'll record training or lab demos. And so when the customer gets back and maybe they had a question of, hey, what did they say about this? Or what was that training? We can actually have it all cataloged and ready for them just to review or repeat or share with others in the company.
Right. And, I was going to say, Grace, as far as, shops getting full advantage of this, I'm sure it's good for shops to tell their customers that they have sent their staff to get formally trained and not necessarily certified, but really formally trained in how to use the equipment and how to do it properly. Because, there's a lot of wrong ways to do it, but there's certainly the right way to do it as well. So it's got to be a feather in their cap too, to be able to say, we sent people to your operation to have that training done for them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was going to say with that, anything else you want to, I know you, like I said, you finally got it up and running. Anything you got down the road that you're going to be planning for the lab, or is it?
I think there's always new equipment to market, and our plan is always to be the first in that technology and bring it here. I'll give you an example. We just recently got into the laser ablation world. So that was for us. So not only do we put paint on, we can take it off now too. And so we brought in our first laser for the lab, so we can actually come here and prep with it, remove rust, and make a surface profile even with a laser. And so that's a whole new world for us. But there again, we saw it. I was impressed by it. I'm like, we're bringing that to the lab. And I think that'll be the motto going forward, is anytime we see some kind of, new technology, we're going to bring it in.
Bring it in. Yeah, there you go. Well, listen, I appreciate you all taking the time out. Like I said, we'll put the links in here for people to take a look at, but I appreciate you both joining me today.
Excellent.
Thanks for having us.